Run down.
What's going on, everybody? John Anthony, Chest Shot Sports, a Sport Code affiliate, as always, running on Zoa Energy. Thank you so much for joining us. Usually Raw's on right now, but they were from London, so we got a little bit of another early edition, our last installment back in America next week in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So thank you for joining us. Thank you, myself, Big Mike, and Jesse B. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on, guys. I know it's a little late. We were usually watching Raw anyway, so I'm a little under the weather, so I apologize if I sound weird. I can't hear myself really that well either, so I apologize if it sounds like I'm yelling. But with 19 days out for Mania and the Raw that we just watched on Netflix, I'm not going to get on here. We're not going to talk about what we just witnessed from start to finish. It was an awesome show. So let's just jump right into it just before my meds kick in. So
maybe to be cooler when the meds do kick in, we'll get John after dark.
Oh no. We're gonna get canceled. Jesse gotta find a new co-host for Wednesdays. Cena comes out, doesn't get a word in edgewise. Here comes Cody, and Cody we're off to the races. We finally got the promo I think we all have been clamoring for. These guys, heavyweight championship fight, shot after shot. Oh my God, the references, the innuendos to both sides. We see him, Jesse. Don't worry, you're fine. So like the references of just, oh my God, the AEW references, the Vince references, everything back and forth. John Cena dressed Cody up and down with the stuff that he hit him with. Cody came right back and told Cena, nah, man, no, let me tell you something, and dressed him up and down. So I gotta ask, before we get into the meat of the promo, off the jump, Jesse, who won the Cena Cody promo?
I don't know. It was really close. It really was. Cena definitely came in with some shots, but Cody came in with some shots too. I mean, that whole line about you got more dick in that promo than you do in your jorts was
your jorts,
pretty fucking low.
What's going on, Lady Alpha?
So I don't know. Cody held his own against Cena.
Yes. He said that. I'm not afraid of what's so scared of you. I'm not scared of you. I'll put a mic to you right now. Oh man, dude. It was I'm just sitting in my living room, half drugged up, just like what? This is wild.
Mm-hmm.
So you got it. Is it I don't know. Are you calling it down the are you saying it was even down the middle? 50-50? Do you have a winner?
I mean, it was pretty close. I definitely didn't expect Cody to hold his own against Cena that well.
Okay. All right. So indecisive. Mike, what do you got?
Sadly enough, I'm going to be about the same. I first and foremost, I would like to submit a formal apology. We need one of those little apology letters that they put out for all the sports guys for Cody Rhodes, because I have said for weeks now that I don't think he could hold his own against Cena. To be fair, this isn't full-on Doctor of Thugonomics Cena, but he held his own in that promo 100%.
Yeah,
he went back and forth with him, shot for shot, bar for bar, if you want to say it that way. And I was incredibly a lot more impressed than I expected to be with Cody. And really, the person who won the most in this battle is us, the fans.
Oh yeah,
because this is what we've been waiting for weeks, ever since John Cena made his appearance and came out all boo-boo faced and just said, "Well, I don't like the fans anymore." This is what we've been waiting.
You were mean to me.
Yeah.
And we finally get a Rock mention, so there's that too. So they're finally bringing that back into it. So yeah, I mean, overall, the main winner is us.
Absolutely, no, I agree with that, and I'm just happy to hear a Rock reference. I know a lot of people have been saying that as well. Where's Rock? Where's Dwayne? We get this turn elimination.
He posted on Instagram from London.
It was the tease, was getting everyone to tune in. But yeah, no, I don't know. But I think everything from start to finish, Cody with the list, the Stardust, the tattoo, Cena with the I bury people, I bury mediocrity, and you're just a color copy of me. Like, oh my God. I want to
shout out to Cody with the Eminem promo from 8 Mile. I know everything you're going to say about me.
Yo, for real. Let me tell you what you're going to say before you say it.
Yeah.
I gotta give Cena the line about I make billionaires money. You just take their kids' money. Like that
Yeah.
was like, oh yes, that's what I want. Yes.
Yeah, there were so many one-liners in that whole segment. It was
Oh,
great.
Yeah. Nobody said that I can't wrestle. No. Oh man, that was gold. Gold, Jerry, gold.
Gold, gold.
An amazing promo. But I agree with Mike, man. We won. They waited for this. They finally dropped it the third time in Europe. And the 0-2 one. The fact that happened over there and not here. And they got that. And that, let me say it one more time. I've said it a lot of the times. A shout out to London, the 0-2, also over to Germany as well for the shows they had there. International fans, cook American fans every day, twice on Sunday. Oh my God. They're so
But
into
the
it.
singing gets old.
What, you don't like the Cody Rhodes? You don't
It's
like
for
that?
everybody. It's like they don't just keep it specific to one fucking person. They do it for everybody. It's like, shut the fuck up already.
They were doing it for Io in the main event.
Bailey has the special song. She has her
Well,
own little fan.
They were doing the same thing for Io in the main event. The Io Sky. Yeah,
Yeah.
they repeated it then. So I see what she's saying there. But I mean, it's a lot of fun.
But at least there's something going on, and not just sitting on their hands waiting for the spot. The match is going to end or someone's going to run in. Like at least they're interacting with everybody. That's what I'm saying. At least they get their money's worth. They paid their money for their ticket. They're saying whatever they want to say, regardless if it's repeating or not. But that's cooking American fans, man. Way hotter than some of those crowds. All right, so I think all three of us across, we all agree the fans definitely won in this. Both guys came out exchanging jabs, some big blows from both guys, so it was awesome to see that. Cody obviously getting the one up here, hitting the crossroads, leaving John laying. So that's gonna be interesting. John is not scheduled to be on any live TV going into until we get to Mania. So we'll see what happens. If it's just Cody coming out, kind of carrying the rest of this. Maybe The Rock makes an appearance in his place. Just hoping they don't send Scott out there and doing some promo work. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Stay in the back. But so anyway, looks like Jessie's having some technical difficulties or something's going on, so she'll be back momentarily. So we get the Boo Day and their ill heel theme, taking on the returning Tyler Bate, going with Pete Dunne, the New Catch Republic. Love seeing Mr. Bate back. Love it. A little muscle too. Got a little more facial hair, like him out there. He looked great. Awesome match, man. Awesome match. New Catch can go. So get the New Day. I like the direction they're going with this. They're out there trying to earn their shot at notes. They hit the Daybreaker 1, 2, 3, and surprisingly, in the home state, home country, New Day gets the win over here over the New Catch. So they're going to be moving out with the number one contenders opportunity at the Raw Tag Team belts. Your thoughts about the match? Tyler Bate coming back. Your thoughts on New Day? Kind of direction they're going right now as heels. Michael, start with you.
Well, I love the whole thing. I love the New Day. I love their new music. I love how the way they did it. I know everybody craps on. I can't even think of the name now. The people that do the music, Def Rebel. But I mean, their theme,
New Day. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, just that muted tone. That's pretty awesome. I love their stuff. The whole new direction. I mean, obviously, you knew they were going to win. I knew they were going to win because they're still setting up to be the number one contenders, which they should be. They need a match at Mania. Even if you let the War Raiders still win, the War Raiders need that rub there. I would love to see the New Day win either way. I know once we get closer to Mania, we'll all make predictions on that. So regardless of who wins, I'm glad they're finally getting some direction in what's going to happen at Mania or the Monday after, whenever they decide to do it, because there's still a lot of stuff kind of bubbling up to the surface as far as matches for Mania. But I loved it. I mean, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne can go anytime, anywhere. I'm glad to see him back, healed up from his injury, and just a really great match.
And Xavier out here cooking these little kids out in the crowd. And he's staring this one kid down. He tried to take his phone. The kid literally was like, he just kept staring at him. Great heel work. Jesse, what are your thoughts?
I was in a meeting during this match, so I didn't get to watch all of it.
Fair enough.
So from what I saw, it was a decent match. Sorry, I had to step away. Tank decided to piss on my floor. So
Tank. Okay.
I do that every now and then. It's fine.
Thank God I have hardwood floors, but still, bro, come on now.
Shout out to hardwood floors, by the way.
But it was a good match from what I saw of it. It was just hard to watch because this particular one I was in a meeting. So
Okay. Cool. So after that, we go into the Jimmy J little backstage segment. Jimmy J being like, "Okay, man, I was out there, but you brought me back in. Cool. I want to be out there with you." Jimmy's like, "I got it. I got Gunther. We're gonna talk about you never had Gunther.
you don't got it.
You didn't have no. You never had it. But was that line from I almost had you?
Never,
You
ever.
had me, yo, bro. Shout out to Paul Walker. But yeah, so let's talk about that match. Jimmy and Gunther. Jimmy never got out the gates, slipping like Jay did last week. Never got out. Just dominate from pillar to post, start to finish. Gunther gets the win, but not done. But wait, there's more. Gunther comes back in, lures Jay out, apparently leaves the arena, comes back with zip ties, gets Jay zip tied to the ring, and proceeds to systematically dissect Jimmy to take a line from JR, referees, EMTs, trainers down. Like everyone's getting their ass kicked by Gunther. Taking some AEW stuff. I got Gunther licking blood off of Jimmy. I got the whole nine doing some hangman shit. Yeah, dude, it was wild. And Jay just had to sit there and watch it. Gunther stands tall, man, covered in blood, holding the belt up, man. I'm getting more excited for this match. We talked about it being dull, and I think people heard what we were saying. A lot of other people, we got to put some juice into this. Now he's beating up his family. We got to get this more, like we talked about, it was flat, right? It was flat. Now Jay's like, you see Jay getting the eyes wide, going to that place, So I think next week's going to be telling where Jay kind of gets reinvented and kind of gets more in the game. Jesse, I know you were very outspoken about being vanilla missionary night after night, and we all talked about it. What are your thoughts about seeing after what happened after the match?
Less interested.
Okay, cool.
I'm less interested in the match, which sucks because I wanted Jimmy to win the Royal Rumble, and I wanted
to put a syringe in someone's cheek. Like, what did you need to see? Wait, why didn't that bring you anywhere back into of him beating up Jimmy? It really wasn't Jay.
Well, the promos were the same.
Yeah.
The whole, I can't do it. I can't do this. Blah, blah, blah. Like, quit crying and being a bitch, Jay. Like, seriously, quit being a bitch. They've really made Jay out to look like a bitch in this feud. They bitched him out again today. They're just making him look extremely weak. If he doesn't fucking win the Royal Rumble, he's done. Or if he doesn't win Mania, he's done.
Cooked.
They've made him look so fucking weak over the last few weeks that it's just not interesting to me anymore. And that sucks because I was looking forward to Jay's match at WrestleMania.
All right. That's good. That's a great opinion. Good way to look at it. Mike, what are your thoughts?
I'm more excited. I'll start first and foremost by trying to be as fair as I possibly can. I've mentioned how much blood and stuff AEW does, and I've called that out. I don't know that Jimmy was supposed to bleed that much. But yeah, that was a little much. They could have done that spot and done it really well without as much blood coming out. Like I said, I realized he bladed when he was off camera on the side of the ring when Gunther went back. So I'm guessing maybe he cut too deep and bled more than he was supposed to. But yeah, it made for a decent visual. But I mean, I gotta be fair going both ways. If I'm calling it out for AEW, I gotta call it out for WWE too. It was a little much for me. But the actions and what actually happened beyond that made me more excited because I can see that there's going to be a path to make Jay more serious. Kind of the same way they did when Roman Reigns was doing the same thing. They had the I Quit match, and the only way that I think it was Jay at the time. Was it Jay at the time? Or no, it was Jimmy.
Jimmy got in to make him
Yeah, and then that was the only way to make Jay say I quit was because he was going after Jimmy and not him. I think it's kind of a callback to that, which turned Jay into a harder wrestler at the time. And I think that's one of the reasons they're doing it. So I can see it's going to be kind of a lot like what Lady Alpha said, is Jay's going to be out for revenge now instead of the whole woe is me thing. It's there. I don't think we get any more of that. I don't think we get any more of that same promo that Jesse's been talking about, rightfully so. We've all talked about it, and I don't think after this week we have to hear that anymore because of what happened tonight. So overall, I thought it was a really great segment, other than what I mentioned before, and it does have me more excited for their match.
No, I get behind both of your guys' takes. I mean, obviously we talked about it, just the same thing over and over again. But to Mike's point as well, I think that ended tonight. That ended today. That's why they did this. Not making him again. Obviously, he's zip tied. He can't do anything, so he has to watch. Not really bitching him out. He can't do anything. So now he's attacking his family. I talked about this last week. You need to bring back the right hand man, Jay. That's what you need. You need that focus. You need the out there for blood. Just no pun intended. But you need Jay to be so focused and just like screw everything up. I think honestly, what needs to happen next week, if we're gonna go down this road, I think the Yeet and the crowd entrance needs to stop. He comes back down in the ramp. He comes down to the ring next week. He goes, "Look, I get it. You guys behind me. I got you. You got my back. I got you. But listen, I got to be focused. I'm not playing around anymore. And that's where you need to see the switch flip, and you go, oh shit, okay, now it's gonna start getting good. That's what I need to see."
Yeah, next week, since Cena's not going to be there, he needs to have a cold open just standing in the middle of the ring calling Gunther out. No Yeet, no interest, just standing in the middle of the ring going, let's do this, Uso. I need you out here right now. We're going to settle this right now. Screw WrestleMania. I don't give a shit about the title. I don't give a shit about that. What you did to my brother. You're either coming out to this ring or I'm coming to find you.
Yep.
That needs to be the cold open for Raw next week.
That's great, Mike. No, that's a great call. That's what I think we need to see. And you see that flip and you just the Yeet thing. That's great. You can do that when and you win the title. You do that the night after Mania. But yeah, you got to go to that place, man. You got to go back to that bloodline guy because that's what we need. That's what you need to do to get a guy like Gunther. So, but I think the segment was good. I think it reinvigorated it for a lot of people. But I think we all talked about it. I think this was something where the whole doubt thing and this whole that's gone. And that was this tonight. That's what happened today. So hopefully next week we get the cold open, we get a new Jay, and hopefully we get they only got like 15 days left, so hopefully it happens. So awesome. So there we go. Let's talk a little bit about Friday nights. I know we didn't do the SmackDown Shakedown. We go over the promo, the Seth, Romo, and Punk. Roman, the Meds, and Punk.
That would be a lot interesting if it was Romo, though.
You imagine Tony Romo? So the three of them in the ring, we do the contract signing. Everyone's throwing their jabs. Seth's saying, I got to clean up your messes for Roman. Roman's like, I bet how you're doing the whole thing. Punk's like, screw both of you, man. I got my main event. No matter how I got it, I'm in the main event. I'm getting this. I got it. We have the whole thing with Paul maybe being a snake in the grass. Paul's playing both sides. I have my theories of what's going to happen. I don't want to throw it out yet. We're going to talk about Mania in a couple of weeks with all three of us, how it's all going to shake out. My question is, Punk ended it saying, listen, Roman, this is in my favor. Not talking about Mania or the match itself, how that's going to work out. What do you guys think the favor is going to be? Mike, I'm going to talk with you.
I mean, it's going to be a future title shot. Okay. Maybe at SummerSlam. I mean, it's going to have something to do with the world title. I mean, I won't mention who because it'll ruin what I think is going to happen at WrestleMania, so I won't go into too much detail of what I think it exactly will be, but it will be a title shot down the road.
Awesome. Jesse?
I think it's the same thing. It's going to lead to a title shot. I mean, what else could it possibly be?
See, I think it's kind of I don't want to get talked. I think it's going to be something to do where he kind of requests him to go come and be his wise man. That's what I think is going to happen. But again, I don't want to talk about if I talk about what's going to. I don't want to go too much into it because then it talks about Mania and everything. But I think that's kind of where it ends up going. But we'll talk about that later when we talk about our Mania predictions. But I think that's going to be interesting. The way they've been unfolding that triple threat, where everyone's like, "Oh man, all three of those." There's so many stories and so many layers to that whole triple threat with all three of them all intertwined for so long. I think it's going to be a really good match, and I think it's going to be good. I think it's ending night one, correct? It's gonna be night one. Yeah. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a good way to end it.
Congrats to CM Punk getting his main event before we move on. Congrats.
Yeah, those tears were real, man. Those tears were real. Yeah, that's
real emotion.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he knew about it ahead of time. I would hope he didn't, so they got the real emotion between him and Heyman right there.
Yeah,
just to get that reaction.
Heyman got teary-eyed too when he gave him that kiss. You saw Heyman too, and Heyman kind of backed away and went back to Roman. I was like, oh man, that's.
Yeah, hopefully Punk went out there just thinking it was a contract signing for the match that he didn't realize it was going to be the main event until that happened. That would be really cool.
Jesse, really? Like the guy's getting a main event at WrestleMania. Like really?
It's like a title shot.
Yeah. See favor. That's title shot.
Yeah. Next week, Seth Rollins versus Gunther for the title.
Yeah,
Hey,
right. What happened? Who books this? Then we get a Judgment Day segment in the back. The usual rigmarole of I'm going to get the job done. Sorry about your title match. You didn't win. Throwing shots and jabs at everybody. So
And then Liv and Raquel doing their little secret shit. So fucking dumb. Like, get over this.
I'm so
Like,
over
enough.
so over those two. So that leads into the Penta and Braun tag team match taking on Finn and Dom. Great match, man. Braun and Penta are actually a really good tag team. They actually pulled out some good moves. Braun with the double what do you do? Double suplex for both the gents. That was awesome. But obviously shenanigans. Here comes Carlito. Braun ends up spearing Penta. Finn gets the coup de grace, 1, 2, 3. So Finn talking about it after Finn got the win. He got the win. So they're victorious. A lot of people coming for Penta right now. Talking about Penta, but he's getting buried. He's getting like it was a tag team. Obviously, like it's okay. It's not like he's getting out there in singles matches getting pinned. It's okay.
Yeah.
The hot rumor is, I think we've all heard it. We've all talked about it. It's going to be a fatal. What's going to be a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania? It's going to be Finn, Braun, Dom, and Penta for the Intercontinental Championship on the men's side. That's going to be interesting to see if that ends up playing itself out. That's weird to me because I feel like that's.
Watch they put it on Dom.
I mean, don't do that. Don't talk.
Please don't do that to me.
This is almost like a Joe Hendry. I'm expecting Sped to show up when you talk about Dom. Like I'm expecting.
Please don't do that to me.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm expecting the fourth square to pop up and like, oh, Sped's here. You talked about Dom.
I mean, I'm okay with Dom winning. Please don't do that to me. I don't know that I can handle it.
I believe this is the second time Penta's taken a pin on Raw.
First time.
Is it the
We
first?
went through this last week.
Okay.
Yeah, he's taken a loss, but he didn't take a pin because Pete Dunne took the loss on the
time.
other one.
Okay, in the triple threat. Yeah. Sorry. I'm fucked up.
Damn meds.
I'm trying here, man. And then we get Alpha. We get Chad Gable not feeling up to performing, not feeling well. He'll be good on the American soil though. So it looks like next week in Minnesota, the Grande Americano, baby. We get the medium coffee next week on Raw. Let's go. So straight from the Gulf of America. So he's walking out.
To your local Starbucks, your Grande Americano.
I want to get like a logo somewhere on there like this. We sponsor that. It's cool. Go. But yeah, so then in walks Maxine and walks Alpha Academy and talking about tag team opportunities. Like, yeah, let's get you guys in there. Maxine's like, actually, I'm thinking like me and Natalia. That could actually be great. Her and Natalia have teased a lot of things on socials for the past 2-3 weeks. They're seen in the back talking. I think they're fresh. I think they're a good team. It might be good. I think Maxine is a good wrestler. If you've seen her when they do let her wrestle, she's good. Natalia obviously is the boat. I think it's better to get the titles on them. They're just sitting on Liv and Raquel, not really doing much. They haven't really defending them. But it'll be interesting to see
the
what
women's
happens.
tag belts don't mean shit to that company.
Don't talk about companies and tag titles. Listen.
Oh, neither does AEW, and I'll say that
Yeah.
100,000 fucking times. No wrestling company gives a fuck about tag team titles anymore.
Yeah,
But those women's tag team titles have been a fucking joke since they've debuted.
Yeah. No, that I push back on. Not since they debuted. They were used. They were on NXT. Now it's like they just put them on whoever and then they sit. They have nowhere to put them. When they first
something
came out,
shiny
it was a
to
hot
look
thing.
at while they're doing
Big
10 other
new thing.
things.
Yeah, it's like okay, but like they were having them rifle around like they would have. At least when Jade and Bianca had them too, like at least they were jumping around, going to Raw, SmackDown, NXT. They were doing other stuff. Did they appear on TNA once? No, am I wrong? Maybe once on TNA.
No,
Jade
Jade and Bianca didn't. No.
Yeah, at least they're doing like one. They're going places. These two are just sitting there with just adult gold on their shoulders. But regardless, anyway. But Jesse, you're not wrong. It's definitely they're in a back seat. They're nowhere close to being featured prominently the way they should be. So
Yeah, they should definitely put them on an
Logan
NXT
Paul
team and let them go from show to show to get them more exposure.
yes, or not for nothing, have those be the belts that go on someone on TNA. Have them float around. You know what I mean? Like build up two people from TNA before something like that. It's just something. Because Liv and Raquel, if you get the Judgment Day, you're going for the Intercontinental Championship. Liv, I don't know. Anyway, but I agree. I think they're not featured as much as they should be, and they definitely need a little more respect to what they have on a week-to-week basis. And then we get the Logan Paul, AJ Styles promo. If I missed anything, let me know. But I think that was next in line. So that was good to see. Logan obviously can hold his own on a promo on a mic. AJ was great. This obviously led into what we all knew was going to happen. AJ and Logan at WrestleMania. I think this is going to be a good match. It's going to be a good match. I'm excited for it. The Pulverizer. Can we talk about that finishing move from Logan Paul? That's a damn good finisher, man.
Yeah.
What?
Good move with a dumbass name.
Good move with a stupid ass
So
name.
good. I'm talking about the move.
Move's great.
Yeah,
the
no, I
name's
agree.
fucking stupid.
You think the move is stupid?
No, I think
No.
the move's
Or the name?
great. The name is fucking stupid.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's Logan Paul. He probably came up with it himself.
He's a fucking moron. God, that
Yeah, because it's got to have Paul in it somewhere.
He's a rich, prominent moron. He's
But he's humble.
But he's humble.
very still humble. Still
You're
humble.
poor. You're poor. You're poor. Motherfucker, they're all sitting in the front row. They ain't poor.
Yeah, I think the match is going to be. I mean, it'll be a good match. I think. Well, I don't want to talk about predictions yet, but it'll be good. I'm excited to see that match. It's good to get. If you're going to get Logan on the card, it sucks. I mean, getting AJ on the card, it's good. It's good to see. So, all right. So we got our main event. We got Io Sky taking on Rhea Ripley with Bianca Belair as a special guest referee. Match was good for the most part. Bianca tried to stay impartial, did her job, good cadences on her counts. And then the shenanigans. Rhea kicks her in the face.
It's still gonna end up at
Io ends up kicking her. Io ends up knocking her out of the ring. We get a double disqualification. Rhea, of course, levels the land. Everyone, it's just riptides for everybody. Bianca gets one off the top rope. I think we all know where this is heading. It's still gonna. There's no way this is a singles match at WrestleMania. I cannot see after that ending. Pierce is going to crash out. They're all going to be in his office. He's just going to, it's a triple threat match, and he's just going to crash out because we're only so far away. The next Raw, there's only 13 days out, like 13 days from that. Like we have to make a decision. They have to start promoting it. It's going to be a triple threat match, and I think we all will talk about that as we move forward. Triple threat with no DQ leaves a lot of room for interference, weapons. Whole bunch of stuff that can happen. So your thoughts on that, on the main event and how the match ended and how you think it's going to roll into WrestleMania. Jesse, I'll start with you.
It's definitely going to be a triple threat for sure. I mean, they're just doing all this rigmarole just to fucking have storylines for the next couple of weeks. But it's 100% going to end up being a triple threat match. There's no way after the way it ended today that they're not going to make it a triple threat.
Yeah, that ending was wild. I was like, there's no way. Once she's like, that's it, I'm done, double DQ. I'm like, come on, man. It was wild. But Mike, what are your thoughts? Hey, Cass, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say something I don't think I've personally ever said about a Rhea Ripley match. To be completely honest, I would. I mean, they did so much through this entire show to get me more excited about WrestleMania. This match did nothing for me for WrestleMania because it's still just drawing it out. You know, it would have been different if Pierce would have came out at the end of the night and said, all right, look, this is clearly never going to fix itself. So, Io, you want it, you got it, triple threat, and then just let them argue and fight over the next couple of weeks because that's all that's going to happen anyway.
That's what I was waiting for.
This whole drawn out thing is it's tired now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Rhea's
I'm a huge Rhea Ripley fan, and
yeah, I was waiting for Pierce to come out. It's like she's looking around doing her thing. They have they have the whole the wide angle camera shot of Rhea in the ring, and I'm waiting for Pierce to come out. Like that's it, and just kind of go on his whole tirade. And I'm like, that's how we end her just holding the belt up. I'm like, that's how we're gonna end this. But again, you need to have a good show in Minneapolis. So first time back in
or let her take the belt. If you want to do something, she should have left with the belt. That way she forces herself into the match. It's at least a different way to get herself in the match. I've got the belt now. kind of the same way Kevin Owens did, a couple months ago at Saturday Night. I've got the belt. If you want it, I've got to be in the match. At least it's something different than any other Mania build we've got right now. And it's just, it just didn't do it for me in the main event. It really didn't.
No, I agree. The match was very, And I mean, not for nothing too. It's just like the match was in total was what, like 14 minutes because their entrances all take like 10 minutes. So, one piece I didn't talk about that I wanted to talk about because I want to elaborate a little bit on the title run. Lyra challenging Bayley next week to the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I feel a certain way about this. I'm a huge Lyra fan. I have been since NXT. I feel like this title reign's been flat. Not so. I just don't think we've talked about it. I don't think she's being featured the right way. That it just hasn't been done properly. And it's no take of Lyra because she was a great
in 2 months.
And that's what I'm saying. She's not getting the right. I saw, and that's the problem. That's the problem too. It's just like a lot of people a lot of people in WWE don't watch WWE won't watch. They don't watch Tuesdays. They do probably a lot do now. But if you didn't see, Lyra was a great champion. She's a great in-ring competitor. She's great at what she does. But on Raw, she's not getting these opportunities. So it's just like she's not getting showcased properly. I'm worried that this match against Bayley, maybe she does get I finally got the the monkey off my back. I'm worried that Bayley actually takes the belt here, and they have maybe a rematch at Mania to get people. But at what cost to get it on some? But that's what I mean. You're taking a belt off someone you don't put on TV and don't showcase properly. Put it on someone strictly for name notoriety. No build up. You're literally just going to go, oh, she's the only person that beat me since I've been here, and she's going to get the belt. No, don't have to go through any hoops. Like I don't know. I don't know how I feel if Bayley takes that belt. That's not fair to Lyra in the least. You're putting on someone. Oh, Bayley, yay, Bayley. We know Bayley. Yeah, we like her. And now what? Now people are going to like the belt now. And now people are going to be appreciative of the title run. I don't know. I feel weird about this match. It's very impromptu. Bayley takes the belt here because they want to go into Mania with Bayley being the champion and defending it at Mania. That's my thoughts. What are your thoughts, Mike?
I mean, hopefully, and again, this isn't necessarily what I think is going to happen because who knows. I'm hoping Roxanne interferes and we finally figure that out because we had that whole Roxanne and Bayley thing that we talked about happening at Mania months ago, and then Roxanne just kind of disappeared. She's been on social media, hadn't been on NXT, hadn't really been on Raw or SmackDown. Hopefully, maybe during this match, maybe she comes back and interferes, and then we get the Bayley and Roxanne match for WrestleMania. And see where we go from there. I mean, that would be great. But I mean, as far as the match itself, if there's an actual winner, I hope it's Lyra. I don't know that I would want Bayley to take it just now. For the same reasons John said.
Right, just to get it off of her and
it's named already going to Mania. It's like, oh, Bayley, yay, Bayley. It's not fair to Lyra in the least, man. I saw her as NXT every week doing her thing, and it was great. So I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens. Yeah. But what do we know? Jesse, what are your thoughts?
I wouldn't be upset if Bayley took it. Bayley's a lot more interesting. They're not presenting Lyra right, so they're not making her interesting. So it's hard to be interested in her title run because they pissed all over it. Yeah. They haven't done what they needed to do to make the Intercontinental belt important because they're not featuring it. It's definitely not like Chelsea Green with the fucking United States title over on SmackDown. Chelsea's on every fucking week. She's got massive storylines.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
She's out there every week. They're featuring that belt every fucking week. Chelsea has made something of that. They're not doing shit with the Intercontinental Championship.
No, that's
it's like she's defended it twice in 2 months.
Oh, the women's mid cards. No, don't say women's mid card. Chelsea's out here busting her ass, making the whole damn. She's building a whole cabinet around her damn belt. She's got it figured out. But yeah, no, I'm like, I don't know, man. But maybe it is Lyra. Maybe it's just not hitting the way it should up in the big leagues. We've seen it happen a lot of other times. But I don't know. I mean, she's a great talent.
I think
again.
A lot of the reason why people aren't behind Lyra is because they wanted Dakota.
That's such a That's a. Maybe you're not wrong, but that's such a piss poor like. That's like the people who got mad Roman dropped the belt to Cody. Well, I don't support Cody. He beat Roman. No. Dude, it's fucking wrestling, guys. Eventually, they're gonna get back there. They're gonna go back into the cycle. Give it a minute. But no, you're probably not even wrong. Oh, Team Dakota, yeah. Like what?
So and if that was their issue, why not give it to Dakota? Well, I mean, even then, Dakota had a rematch. If that was the case, and you wanted Dakota, why not give it to her there?
Yeah.
And not being
you had a good sample size of a month or two at that point.
And not be, me and Mike have talked about it. What she goes to a match at Mania or goes to a match at Chamber, wins the belt, and then we find out she got hurt in the match and she's donkeying up the next night on Raw. We have to have another tournament. Like, nothing against Dakota, man. I'm a big Dakota Kai fan, man. I am. She's got a huge following, but you got to stay healthy. You got to be in the ring and show people you're good to go to get a title run. But like we said, right? So the title's not being featured at all. So if Dakota gets the belt, she's out there every other week, doing some stuff, and body gets banged up, she's out. Great, here we go. Now we gotta have some weird tournament. Everyone's got, you know what I mean? So that's the only thing hampering Dakota. Like, it's not her wrestling ability; it's just the fact that her staying healthy. But she definitely.
And if you're going to give it to Bayley at that point, why not give it to her? A month and a half, 2 months ago, when she was at the NBA All-Star Game and all that, where she could parade it around. Why not have her win it before she does all that? That way, it makes that belt seem more important because it's out there. She may not be on Raw every week or something like that, but there's a reason for it because she's doing other stuff. Kind of like everybody made fun of Logan Paul's U.S. title run a couple years ago, but yeah, he wasn't on Raw, but he had that belt with him in every red carpet, in every podcast, and everything he did. There were more eyes on that title than there had ever been, like Jake Paul or not, than any time it had ever been held, because he has more eyeballs on him 24/7. At least it would have been out there at the NBA All-Star Game, at the red carpet for Queen of the Ring, all these other places that Bayley was, that she could have shown it. If you're going to give it to Bayley, give it to her there, and then let Lyra win it back at Mania there. But it just seems like they fumbled the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe they're backtracking, or maybe like we talked about, maybe she wins this match next week, gets off the schneid. Oh, okay, I got my win back. Okay, I proved myself, and maybe they start building something. But I mean, I don't even know if they've announced a women's U.S. Title match for Mania yet. So I feel like there's these next 2 weeks, and we all know this watching Mania from a lot of other times. Well, maybe not so much VKM because those things are announced a long time. But I feel like we're gonna start seeing 2 or 3 or 4 matches of the fill-ins for the night starting to be announced, of maybe the mid-card titles, all this other stuff. So that's going to be interesting to see. I think that's kind of where we're going the next couple weeks. Now you have,
and I'm not gonna lie, if it's Zelina Vega for the U.S. title, I'm not excited about that.
Bro, come on, man. Really unless you win, unless she's gonna win, and finally put the belt on Zelina. But if it's just Chelsea to get another win with all the interference, then I'm like, what are we doing this for? I'm all if you want to have multiple people fight, I'm okay with it, and do it over and over. But at least have Zelina get some vindicate, win the belt at Mania, cool, and have her hold it for a couple months, and then Chelsea climb and chase back and get another shot at it. But if it's just for Chelsea to go over and win with some nefarious tactics for all the girls helping outside, what are we doing? Doesn't make any sense. But I agree. If it's just there needs to be more build for the women's title, the women's titles. It was a big deal when they brought them out, the tournaments, the whole nine. But to Jesse's point, Chelsea, I've said it before, and not that Chelsea isn't a brilliant mind herself, but look at who she's been. Matt, you don't think Matt looks and goes, you know what you should do when you go out? You should be like the president. You should, who knows who say what to each other, but those two have such creative minds together. Chelsea can you give her chicken, she makes chicken salad. She's amazing at what she does. They had nothing for her for weeks, and she's out there just constantly on TV, constantly being relevant. Look where she is now. So, but she's been a godsend to that title. So hopefully they figure it out on the Raw side with the Intercontinental Championship. So,
yeah.
They've
got to do something with it. They've got to make it interesting.
What was that?
They've got to make it interesting because right now that title is shit.
No, I agree. On the Raw side, it's tough. Now, I know Mike has watched a lot of them. You've watched a couple WrestleManias before, obviously. You've seen WWE in the build-up, right? This is probably the first time in this. Maybe I'm in the minority on this. I'm obviously, it's WrestleMania. I have the weekend off. It's Easter, but I have the whole weekend out. I'm excited for it. This has been the first time in a long time. I'm not going ape shit for Mania. I'm excited, but I'm not like over the moon. And I feel like it's I don't want to say underwhelming because it's not. The title matches, it's weird not having either Royal Rumble match, main event, either night 1 or 2. That's kind of weird. It's the first time it's ever happened since they've gone to 2 nights. So I get why they're doing it. You have the triple threat. You have you have Cody Cena. I get that. But am I the only one? Am I the minority here thinking that it's not the build that we usually have with 19 days left going to Mania? Mike, am I wrong in this?
No, I've thought that for a while. I mean, and I don't know if it's Triple H going and the writers going, look, we've got Cena and Cody in the main event. We've got Roman and Seth Rollins and CM Punk in another match. We've got Charlotte Flair with one of our young up-and-coming stars. We've got name value in all this. So they may have taken a step back, and maybe it's just how long it's been because this is the longest build we've ever had. Maybe that's part of it too. But yeah, I completely agree. Something's off with it. And whether it's them taking a step back going, well, we've got name notoriety. We don't have to do a whole lot of other stuff. We don't have to have a lot of other stuff going on, which I don't know that I would say they would do. It doesn't seem something that, Triple H would normally do. Or if it's just the amount of time in between they've tried to slow burn it too much and we're all just like, okay, this is whatever at this point. But yeah, there's definitely something off about it.
Can we just get there?
Yeah.
Jesse, what do you think?
It's not a normal WrestleMania build for sure. It's lackluster. It feels weird. Like you said, it just feels fucking weird. And I think John hit a point that the build, it's too long between Rumble and Mania this year. There's just too much time in between the 2 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So they're having to do all this filler shit.
February 1st to April 19th. That's a long ass time. Even when they threw in, what was it? They use it in NXT now. It's Roadblock was the one they would throw into March now. They're throwing like some title matches and weird kind of shit there. So that even gave you some kind of storyline, something to sink your teeth into, to like have enjoy getting into Mania. And Mania has always been, like we talked about it, it's April 1st, 2nd, April 2nd, 3rd. Halfway into the month? We're almost into May. Like, shit. That's a long time.
Like it was usually this past weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like end of March.
Or this coming weekend.
Shows like, yeah, Mania, holy shit, or at least this should be our prediction show. Like, oh, Mania this weekend, like what the hell? But also too, I think I look at it too, where a lot of people criticize AEW for like the no storylines and kind of throwing things together a week or two. Now it's too long of the storylines, like too long, more of a payoff. But yeah, I agree. It's been such a long, like, these stories. I can't wait for the 19th and 20th. It's just talking the 21st of whether it's new champion, this and that, the Raw after Mania, where we're going from here. Let's reset and go. Like, I cannot wait to get to that point. But I'm still obviously very excited for Mania. So it's always a big weekend. I'm excited. So awesome stuff. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you jumping in. I know usually right now we're watching Raw. So I know my medicated ass had to cancel some stuff. So I appreciate you guys coming in, at least for tonight. And for those of you that don't know, next Monday, we were talking about it for today. We will be sitting down with Moose, the TNA X Division champion, and also Vicious Vicky, multiple women, multiple promotions. We'll be doing that next Monday with myself and Big Mike, and also with Jesse as well. So stay tuned for our times and posts on that as well. So awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys.
I know this is a WWE show, but Sunday night we do have Preston Vance rescheduled from last week.
Yes. And obviously we'll talk about it. It's already inked. I just got to pick a time and day. I'm getting pushed back. I need to fix something. But we also have signed Odyssey, aka or FKA Odyssey Jones from WWE. He will be coming on our show, sitting down with us. With everything he pushed back, I should work out a time and a date with him, but it will be B before Mania. So be looking out for that as well. So we're excited as well. And some stuff in the works for our WrestleMania pre-shows as well. A couple names being talked about on our end. We have Layla L and Gilbert will be joining us as our guest guest. I'm
Guest
drugged up, so
speaker.
I can't think of
Guest
Predictors.
speaker.
Guest predictors.
Guest predictor. Yeah. So yeah,
Guest
look
host,
over and
guest-
let me know.
whatever.
Guest prognosticators.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much. Thank you, folks.
I'm
But
also
yeah, so
working
those two
on
will be great.
Kid Bandit and Danny Limelight also. So
Awesome.
Speaking of Kid
So
Bandit, make sure some good friends of ours kicking at it too are actually interviewing them this coming Thursday.
Thursday night.
So be tuned in for that. Kid Bandit on the Kicking at It 2 podcast Thursday night. After you watch the
Yes,
run in.
absolutely.
After the run
And
in.
then we'll
Good
get
friends of
them
the show.
soon.
Yeah, definitely good friends of the show. Definitely tune in and watch them and see them with their interview. Awesome.
After
so
the
guys,
run.
for anyone that doesn't know, that doesn't usually watch the show, Mike, where can anyone find you?
As previously mentioned, the At the Run In Wrestling Podcast at _Big Mike 27 on YouTube. And again, this is a WWE show, but we do have AEW Dynasty coming up. We will do our predictions on Thursday with two very special guests, the two beautiful faces you see above me, John Anthony and Jess Princess Skywalker, coming into the run in to try and take the AEW crown from Sped. Had to bring in a couple of ringers to make sure he does not go walk away with that championship. So be sure to tune in to see them on our show on Thursday night at 8 Central.
Awesome. Sounds good. Jesse,
Now, if you
where
come in
can
to disappoint, I'm going to be very mad.
I've won the last two AEW pay-per-views by one match between me and John.
So maybe I should have just got Jess instead of Jess and John.
The luck's gonna run out something.
Ugh. Just saying. I didn't want to be mean, but if she's the talent here, she's the one that knows everything. Maybe we'll talk about it off air. It's fine. I know you're sick. Maybe
that's kind of how this works.
Maybe it's a
Maybe
it's a Chad Gable situation where you have a doctor's note and you can't compete Thursday like Chad Gable. Maybe we get Grande AEW Kondo or something.
Your ear infection note.
Don't mess around because watch something happen. It may not be. You know what you just did? You literally, if something happens and I can't make it, I swear to God.
If something happened,
look,
it's totally your fucking fault.
if for some reason
my picks, I'm gonna send them in. Jesse can deliver them via her. My picks, damn it.
Look, and we've already made the announcement. We will still have John Anthony's predictions, even if he is still under the weather. He can put it out on Twitter or X at Chairshot Sports, and he will still count. Since I have already announced him, he's already an official in the match. It's not going to be like a Rhea Ripley situation where he's got to write himself in the contract. It's official, as Adam Pierce would say. You're in.
Like that out. It's all set.
It's all said and done, damn it.
And then more to come the week of WrestleMania.
I have a belt that you see more on my show every Wednesday than with Jesse, and you see the actual title on with John Moxley on actual television. So, listen, but I'm excited. It's going to be fun on Thursday. I'm excited for it. It's going to be fun.
Yep. Should be a good time.
Awesome. Well, guys, awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to go and try to sleep this off because ear infections suck for anyone that knows about them. So for Mike, for Jesse, for myself, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We're on the road to WrestleMania, and we'll see a lot of you on Wednesday, and we'll definitely see a lot of you on Thursday night on the run-in where we give all our predictions for AEW Dynasty.
Toodles.
Bye, guys.